Hello there. Hello there. You are listening to Paranormal Experience with Kat Hobson, and that would be me. I am having some internet problems tonight, but nothing is going to keep me away from being able to talk with my friend Gina. Gina is also known as the Paranormal Fox because, when you see her, you're going to get that. Okay, Bob Christopher is a lucky, lucky man. So, Gina, she's dying over there. It's hilarious. But anyway, she is the creative side of Vortex Ghost Gear. And I'm telling you, y'all have seen me show off the equipment that I got when I was at Gettysburg, right? So it's all her creation. His technical side, she gives him that. And then she pretties it up and makes people like me want to buy things like my little Yorkie. Isn't he adorable? Yes, I grabbed him before anyone else could when we got there. Hey, Gary. But it is so much fun. She is the host of the Fox's Den. I'm pretty sure that's it. That's not it because we have been having internet problems. So everything I'm doing is in panic mode. Not really. But she is, I'm going to let her come and help me because she is part of the Ghost Detective. She is part of so many things. And not only that, but she's a brilliant human being and a really nice person who is coping well with all of the glitches and the nutty stuff that's coming through. And she's my friend, so hopefully she won't kill me for this. So welcome, Gina.
Hi, Kat. Thank you so much. I love you so much. You're just such a doll.
I love you so much too. And I'm going to tell people that she's driving my car today. So she went and got her a pretty
I got a
and
new Cadillac today. Yeah, well, a used
yeah,
Cadillac. Not new for me, but it's
hey,
a
whatever.
new used car. Look at I got blinky lights going on because I brought some equipment to show off.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I
But
have,
I'm having like eyelash issues. My I've
well,
been
between
doing
my
this.
internet and your eyelashes.
I'm telling you.
Well,
My girl
don't
my
you
girl
find,
went out on maternity leave that I have been getting eyelashes put on, and then she
mhm.
went on maternity leave, so they all fell off. And now I tried to put on things today, and I'm like, "I don't know." So, if I stop
Well,
blinking
it's
funny,
okay if the lash
I'm not
drops,
having
but
a
it's not
stroke.
good if the glue gets in there. If glue's in there, you're gonna die from that. Says she who wears things like that to
Uh,
conventions. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So
But
it's
you
I
look
mean,
lovely.
once they get put on, you don't have to worry about it. You don't even have to really put on makeup because 'cause they're, like, glued onto each individual lash, and then you don't gotta do anything. Now I'm back to having to do all this stuff and
I
I'm
know,
fighting.
right?
Oh, it's horrible. Alright, besides that, how are you, honey? I miss you.
Besides that, I miss you too. It's terrible when all of your friends live in New England and California, right? In the Midwest. And I'm in Alabama, but I will take my weather any day of the week. So
Mm,
that's okay. But
yeah.
because all of the things that you do are fun, right? You're in a fun area. You have people that love to investigate. I'm in Birmingham. We have cool stuff here, but not that
Yeah.
many people to investigate with. And
Yeah.
so when I go down to the coast,
Less
there's
of
a
that.
paranormal team down there, but I love coming up there.
Oh. Well, I always said, 'cause
And
I grew up in Massachusetts, and I always said if I was
mhm,
ever gonna leave Massachusetts, I would live in Pennsylvania, and that's where I am now, and it's a
darned if you
great
didn't,
right? It's
right?
a great stepping off point, because I can go from here, I like to go out to Ohio, and I like to go to Virginia, and I like to go to these different areas to investigate too. So it's, a lot closer from Pennsylvania going there than it is from Massachusetts, even Gettysburg, because Gettysburg used to be an 8-hour trek for me, and
Oh my
now it's
gosh.
two and a
You
half.
know, when we think of things like that, we never anticipate, or, hey, April, we never expect that to be the case, right? Because we always think that when it
You
rains, it
find
pours.
she's haunted. She's
I am haunted. Well, I'm going to tell you that I've been gone for a little while. I had to go south. I went south because I had some things to do. And, so since I came home, my house has been rebelling. It's
Oh,
crazy. And I don't have a lot of spirits in my home, but I do have people that show up periodically, and mostly they're family. But I'm wondering if this isn't a dog because I'm missing stuff.
okay.
Like, I could not find my paranormal bag because I wanted to take my equipment out and show people what I got from you.
Ah,
So,
well,
because
it's
that's
okay.
what
I've
I
got
love to
plenty.
do.
I have plenty. I have so much stuff to show. I'm gonna go through it all if you let me.
Cool beans. Oh, heck yeah, I'm gonna let you. But, but one of the things that's funny is that I knew I had my para bag in here. I knew it because I brought it in. There's nothing in my car that should not be in my car.
Yeah, well,
I
you know,
went through every location in my house, could not find it. And finally, I was just standing in the room and I said, "This is enough. This is enough." Because I had the show set up, I had everything grooving, everything working, and couldn't find my bag. And there's been a couple of other little things since I got home, but this was big. And I was just like, "Give me my bag.
that's what I do.
I know where I put it. Give me my bag."
Yep.
I turned around, walked out, stood for a few minutes, turned around and walked in, and it was there.
Yep. I'm telling you that it happens in my house all the time. And then I gotta say though, everything for a reason. Sometimes, when your keys go missing, things like that. I always say, you're getting saved from being in an accident or something like
Yes.
that, stuff like that. But I get like enough is enough in this house already. I'm
Yeah.
like, where are my damn glasses? Sorry about
Well,
scaring.
that's what happened to me. I was leaving for the beach, right? I bought a pair of Maui Jims when I was in Scotland, going through the duty free, save a little money. Well, I love them. I've never worn them before, right? So this was my first pair. Leaving for the beach, I have one spot where I put all of my sunglasses, keys, and whatever. They weren't there,
Good.
and neither were my Ray-Bans. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is
Oh,
stupid. I
yeah.
have to have polarized glasses. I'm going to water, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I found them where they're supposed to be when I got home.
Well,
So,
anytime I buy an expensive pair of sunglasses,
mhm.
break them within 10 minutes of owning them. Every
Well,
time.
I did pretty good with this. It was
One, you know, I've
much
had
better
it
than
for
I
years.
expected.
Yep. Then they're all perfect. The
Well,
expensive ones, forget about it. I'm gonna sit on them. I'm gonna
oh,
crush
yes.
shut my car door on some ones because they fell just as I was shutting the car door and I couldn't like stop the momentum. I was like, no, crunch.
That's hilarious. Not really, not
Yeah, I
really
know.
hilarious,
Well, you
but
gotta laugh. You have to laugh because it's just I won't do it anymore. I won't.
yeah.
Just,
Well, I have found that when I start getting frustrated, and if I'm lying, I'm dying. If I start getting frustrated with it, they think it's funny and
yeah,
they start going even more.
yeah,
And like tonight, when I was in there, I was like, I have to be on the air in 10 minutes. I
right.
have to have this bag. Give me my bag. And when I think that they think it's fun and games, right? And then when it's all of a sudden, oh, cat's pissed. We may have gone too far this time.
Right.
But and they know because I think most of the time they're family and things are just banging around me.
Hmm.
So quit.
Hmm.
But it's really funny. Now I'm going to tell people about you because I have gotten my bearings. I am through with these spirits. If they don't
You're,
calm
you're
down, they're going to
great.
be embarrassed.
Perfect.
You are co-founder and owner of Ghost Detectives TV. You are
Well, no, wait, hold on. Bob, I'm a member. I'm a cast
okay.
member.
You're a cast member.
Yeah, and Bob is
Gotcha.
the founder and you know
Well, that's
invest.
okay. You got a little bit of an in with him, and he won't beat me for saying that. So,
No,
not hard. but you are the designer of the custom pieces for Vortex Ghost Gear. You are Ghostly Excursions, and you are the co-host with Mama D of the Fox Den,
Right.
right? Yay!
Yes.
That's a
The Fox
plus.
Den with Gina
So,
B and Mama D, because it always was just the Fox Den. Actually, it started out Second Sight when I was with Chris George, and then I left. He
right.
left, and then I made it the Fox Den, and then I added Mama D's, and then now it's the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, and it's been that for I don't
A
know,
while.
years. Yeah, years,
Yeah.
years. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm such a huge fan of you and Bob and really all of our friends that do what we do up there. Um, I started out, in fact, Bob saved my bacon because of a situation with Dave Giuliano way back,
okay.
like 10
Mm-hmm.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so, ever since, because he was listening, because Dave was supposed to come on, he couldn't get in. And the next thing I know, Bob is on the phone. And I'm like, well, hey, he's like, we're just going to talk. We talked for 3 hours.
Sweet,
We did a 3 hour show.
sweet.
And ever
Because
since
that's the kind
then,
of guy he is.
that is the kind of guy he is. And, I was so taken aback because, I didn't know him except, through the internet because I hadn't been up there yet and met people. And he was just such a fantastic human because that show, I mean, I was very excited to be doing that show. And then, you know, Dave had an issue and Bob just stepped right in. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. I love you. I do know who you are, but I haven't. And so that's why
And
every time
Bob is like he's like the backbone of everything. I make
he
everything
is,
look pretty, but he's the one who like does all the design work on the insides of things and all the design
yeah,
work on all the mechanics like these. All right, when we do Vortex Ghost Care, all right, this is
yes.
an easy scan ghost box, right?
Hmm.
So I said, because I said, I'm old. I cannot read the SB7. I mean, I'm like, so you got to fumble for glasses. You
Yeah.
got to sit there, and even with the glasses in the dark, you got to put a flashlight in your mouth because now you've got a speaker, the
Hmm.
SB7 that you got to hold, and then try to see the teeny little numbers. So I
Yeah.
said, make something easy that I don't even have
I
to look.
have one of those. Do you remember?
Yeah, you
I
got the
have the
cool.
nautical one of those.
Yeah, so I make these all different kinds, but for the
Yes.
most part, it's like this, or some of them have the disc on
Hmm.
the top, which can be used like our geophone, but I'll explain that in a minute. But all this does is you just turn the knob and push the button, and this one's got dead batteries.
Of course it does.
Yeah, I was
But
this
it's
is
really
how
so useful. But I don't travel with mine because I love it so much, unless it's
this one,
someplace that I don't have to check it.
yeah,
I won't check it.
yeah. But like this on the top here, when you put these discs that we have, and I have a bunch of designs that I can use. It doesn't have to be like this Ouija,
Hmm.
but if you can't see it, can you?
I can see it.
With the
Ah,
light,
there we go.
right? Because it goes by my voice or it can go by tapping. So you can say, can you please tap the box once for yes, twice for no? So you can use it like a geophone,
Coolio.
right? Yeah. So it is pretty cool.
That is
And
cool.
and then our geophone, which is up here, okay.
Hmm.
So that's like $100 to buy the geophone, for vibration, which is very
Yeah.
sensitive.
Well, because I just so happened to.
There you go. And what
So
color is green? Okay, so this one's blue. That one's green. They have
mine's
the
rainbow.
colors. Oh, it's yours is round. Okay,
Yeah.
that's like the colors of the EMF meter.
REM. Yeah.
So we have different colors, and there's red and there's purple and the blue. I like the blue, but it's so like I can
And
hit my
then
desk over here, which is a solid cherry desk, mind you, and that's
right.
going off over there. You know,
Cool.
so the sensitivity is
It's
that.
amazing.
Yeah, like Corey and Satori and Cody. You're rubbing off on me.
I
Satori and
am.
Cody use that.
They're coming to see you now.
They're always they
You're
they
welcome.
thanks a lot. You just gave them like carte blanche to come on in and mess with us.
I didn't tell them that.
Look at they're setting things up. But that's what they use for the ABC thing. When they go through the alphabet, then they say
Mhm.
A, B, C, D, and then so that's what they use.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Well, there's also the thing that I called Mickey Mouse the whole time we were together, and you didn't know what I was talking about. I see that. Yes.
Yep, RV pod.
And
Yes. It's like a REM
and, you know,
pod,
uh,
sleeker, smaller version of a REM
and
pod.
apparently this battery is also suddenly dead.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, I think mine's good. So you turn it on with the one switch, and it's
Mhm,
on REM mode, right?
mhm.
There's another button that you can switch it, and now it's on music mode. So the antenna will go way up and down, and it's not designed to hold it while you're doing it because it's going to stay going. But
Yeah.
but because it's so small and sleek, you can stick it in your pocket, and it's a heck of a
Well, a
lot.
coat pocket so you don't, like.
Yeah, yeah. But well, sometimes the guys got the big pockets. I used to go
That's
when
true.
when I first started investigating. I always wore camo pants, and I had
Yes.
all the camo pockets. Like on one side was the good batteries, the other side was
Yeah.
the dead batteries. The GoPro batteries were another thing. I mean, these pockets were all full. I was like,
Right.
what can
You weighed 50 pounds more when you got through. Yeah,
totally. But
because
we do.
batteries are heavy.
They are. Now it's all in bags and things, and I tried one
Yeah.
thing one time. We took a group over to it was Ohio State, and I had this wheelie bag thing, and here I come wheeling my bag down the thing, messing up everybody's EVPs. I'm like, sorry, 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 this bag is very heavy. So once I get set up, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
there for a while, but I'm just like, sorry, sorry, I'm old, I can't carry all this stuff.
Well, we have, Mark Lee from Enlightened Souls Paranormal here.
How you doing?
So oh, yeah. Well, so how much I know what I carry in my bag. What do you carry in your bag?
Well, right now I got a box and a bag. So I got like a briefcase box,
Mhm,
hardcover thing. So I fit a ton of stuff in there, and a lot of my extra wires and things that I might not be using. You know what I mean? That will go in there. And then I just have like a tote bag that has a handle and a strap. An
mhm,
outside pocket. So I can probably get away with those two things jam packed.
right.
you know?
Dave David bought me a one of the rolling sewing bags,
Yeah.
um, that is compartmentalized a bit, but it's deep. And so I can put so many boxes on there and it rolls.
I know, but the rolls
And
makes noise, so that's why people are mad
yeah.
at me. I'm like, "Sorry, sorry," but, you gotta get the stuff there,
Well, you do. And I'll be quiet once I'm set up.
Exactly.
And you know what? I have my camera bag. I'm a photographer also. And so my camera bag is what I put the stuff that I'm going to move through the structure with, like my
Mhm.
K2, my voice recorders, whatever. And anything that I'm going to have with me to have visual as I'm going. And I find that that works. And, I have to tell you that the geophone I used in Fort Morgan while I was down there. And I should have recorded that for things, but I was so excited because things started happening. But um, it worked so well. And I don't get a lot of activity there. I had one day, it's my very first K2 session. And, so that worked too. But, you know, this geophone was fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, because I like it for the fact that you can, on the top, like, well, this was an older one, but this
Hmm.
one has a push button, so you can set the sensitivity, so you can see how many lights it's going up and
Hmm.
up. So this is like the highest. This
Yeah.
is if you were on a very, very hard surface, you would put it way up, but otherwise you would have it way down here
Hmm.
on a soft surface. And this is the one I have it on over here, and I'm banging on my desk, and it's going off. You know,
Yeah.
and then this right here, this is an HTO. That's like the specific item monitoring, right? So geophone is vibration.
Hmm.
This is an HTO. This is like there's an alligator clip that comes out of it, and it's hooked to this metal pair of scissors. So I'm just touching, all right, so they're going through a hole here, and I'm just touching the metal on the bottom, and see the lights go on? So there's
Sweet.
also a very, 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 very loud noise button on the back of that I am not gonna turn on because it
Thank
would
you.
we would we would be deaf.
I
You
like my ears.
put that on so the lights will go on and the sound will go off so you don't have to sit and watch. But also what you do with those, like you can hook it directly to anything metal, but we use these trays a lot, right?
Really?
You can take the alligator clip and you can hook it to this tray, and you could put, like, I don't know if I have one over here. I don't. Like a bottle of water on here, and you can
Mhm.
set the sensitivity on the top here. You set the sensitivity to when you come in to grab whatever you put on this tray, whatever you're monitoring, right? You can set that sensitivity that it goes off as soon as you touch it, you know. And water is a conductor, so
Mhm.
the water is on here. So if you're at a bar or if you want to do like a beer and a shot or something, so
Right.
you're in an old tavern, or just a bottle of water, so you can put that on there and they grab it and it will go off. But you can hook it directly, like I said. So these metal things, so anything metal, keys, glasses, belt buckles, Union, Confederate belt buckles,
Oh,
swords, axes, guns, whatever the object is that's metal. But you can also the alligator clip that comes with it is usually a longer cord than that one. But you can wrap it around a soft surface, so you can monitor
oh,
surface as long as that cord crosses itself. Okay. And
that's
then
cool.
you're creating a field. So it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be metal, but it can't be too big of an object. Like you can't monitor a bed. You know what I mean? You can't do something that big. It makes a big field, but not that big. You know what I mean? So, that's the only limitation to that. But these you showed Archie before. So this is
Yeah.
Scruffs, right? So this one here, he has a button on his collar
Yes.
here, right? So that's the way you turn it on. And again,
Yeah.
when you turn him on, he's on REM mode. On this side, another button. Now
Yeah.
he's on music mode.
And it gets so much attention.
Oh
Mine
my
does.
God.
I
Yes, they did.
mean,
Look at, we got King Cavaliers.
yes.
We just ordered some new ones. I have a little French bulldog.
Oh, that's
Isn't it?
so cute.
They are the
Yes.
cutest things on the planet. And then, because I am the parafox, I
Yes.
I have
Gotta
a
have a fox.
I have a fox. It's the only one, and the only one that
Yeah.
will ever be, but it is my fox.
I love it. Well, that's how I feel about my Yorkie, and I have to tell you that we lost a dog since the last time I saw you, but we've rescued, um he's supposed to be a collie Aussie mix. He's huge, huge, but I may because now I have 2, Aussies. I'm not really sure. Wally he looks like an Aussie, but he has got the block head,
Oh,
more of a block,
okay. So he's
and
got the
so
colors of like the Aussie and stuff.
yeah, colors of a collie too. I mean,
Oh,
because a blind Aussie looks like a collie.
so is
And
it a fur nightmare?
yes, because now I have 2 Aussies, 2 Aussie
Oh
dogs.
boy.
One's full-blooded than this one. And it's just like, I'm gonna have to get you to make me an Aussie. I need an
Yeah,
Aussie.
yeah.
But
We do it like on vortexghostgear.com. That's
yes.
the site. There's like a whole litter of cats and a whole kennel of puppies. Right? And we have to update it because now we just added a bunch more. Like we just added, oh my God, what is it? This is a little poodle. It's a tiny little poodle. It's like the Yorkie. It's white. It's called Fifi.
Oh,
I'm just like, that's gotta be mine. I want that. I want
that's
that.
adorable.
Yeah. And then there's a couple other new little dogs. Oh, we got a pit bull. Um,
Oh,
God, it's a gray pit bull. And oh, what is the other one? There's a laying bulldog one. We had a laying bulldog. It was a little bit bigger. This one's smaller. So, like we're trying like so that people can have the sizes, like we've done the big ones. We had the big hound dogs. We've
mhm.
done a big husky that sits on the ground. I have
Yeah.
a giant lab. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Things
I'm
like
glad I didn't see the
that.
lab.
Oh, But you gotta carry those things, along with
Yeah,
all your equipment like we were talking about earlier. So you have all those equipment, but when you have the little ones,
it's easy.
the
This one
little
flies.
guys,
Yeah.
stuff in the bag, you know?
Well, mine flies with me because it goes in my backpack. Because 'cause I'm
Right.
not checking it.
No,
Not
no, it
checking
would
that
be gone.
baby.
It would be gone.
Yeah.
Swear.
Well, because my bags all of my bags have Paranormal Experienced and Cat Hobson on them, and I'm like,
I
"Don't
got
check those."
I got Fox stickers all over everything.
Of course you do. It's easier to find a fox, though.
Well, I got rid of my car. My car had Fox stickers all over
That's
it.
true.
The
You have to start
sales
over.
the saleswoman goes, "Are you gonna get Fox things?" I said, "Well, I already ordered my Fox license plate." So it's just a white license plate with a nice little, grayish fox in the middle of it and
Yeah,
very simple, you know, and,
elegant.
yeah, really pretty. Goes along with the car very
Yeah.
nicely. So Bob's like, "Don't cover it with foxes." I'm like,
I'll wait
"We'll
a week, son.
we'll see.
I'll wait a week.
Yeah, we'll see. But I
Yeah.
got all these things in front of me here too, like going back to equipment stuff, right? These are
Mm. I
our
can't make mine stop playing, and I know my spirits aren't here all the time.
oh,
But
really
I was gonna call you about that later, but, like, watch. And before we do, look at
nice.
this. How
Look at
precious
you.
is that?
Ah,
And
yeah,
so I
Wednesday
love it.
and Jack and Sally here.
Yes.
And this is mine. This has got a fox. There's a
Yep.
fox and skulls and across. This is how when I first started doing them, I used to hand paint everything, and
Mhm.
now I do graphics.
Mm.
And because I've made
Yeah.
literally like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things. I don't
Yep.
even
You had the
have.
Scooby Doo one?
Yeah,
Yeah. I love the Scooby Doo one.
yeah. So they all play. Like that plays the Jack and Sally theme. This is the Wednesday, the cello music.
Mhm.
And mine is like nice, soothing Native American music because that's what I
I
like.
like that. Well, can I play mine?
Yeah. Bob gets so mad when
Well
we
well, I
dance.
had but I do love mine, but I am gonna have to get you to help me with that after we get through.
I will.
But,
I will.
because
Yeah, because
or they may just all be here all the
yeah,
time.
you have to point it in the direction that you want to monitor. Now, this thing
Mhm.
goes out like 45 feet from the box.
Yep.
So everything has to be perfectly still. For it, when it reads, it's reading the room, the objects in the room, the temperature of the room. When it's done doing all that, then it's going to shut off. So
Okay.
then if something goes in front of it, quickly, it's going to turn
Yeah.
on and off quickly. So it's going to be the light and the music will go on and off quickly. If something stays there, then it's going to continue to play.
Well, that's what because you had explained all that to me, but it's been a long time ago. And so for the longest time, because I wasn't investigating, it was just staying on my desk because my desk is
Yeah. And
all
when it's
paranormal all the time.
started
But
to, you might need to change the batteries. They take 4 AAA batteries
mhm.
side. So it's like people always, usually they wreck. This is a speaker. This is the
Mhm.
batteries. This is speaker. Don't touch a speaker. Right? But
Nope.
just slide the battery case back and put the batteries in and slide it, gingerly back. I know
Yeah.
there's a lot in a little space.
Well,
But
but it sure is
yeah,
fantastic.
usually if something's wrong, it's batteries first. Always do batteries first. Just
Oh,
like when I
yeah.
turn this on, right? Our spirit boxes, right now, look how nice and beautiful
I
and
know.
neat and everything is in there, right? But it takes 2 9-volt batteries. Why
Mhm.
it's two is
Yep.
because one runs each button. This is just the speeds for your sound of your voice, but
Mhm.
this button and this button all on its own. If you leave one button on, it's the box is not going to work when you turn it on. Even if this button is fully charged, it's not going to work because you need both. Because one's for the
Yep.
speaker, one's for the computer. You know, so
It took me a few tries to get mine right. And but, that is something no matter where I do take it with me, people are so mesmerized because it's a pirate chest and
right.
it's beautiful.
It,
And
Thank you.
that's one of the things, you can buy paranormal equipment anywhere, as you well know. But when you find some place that has really cool, really fun things, because, nobody who knows me would really think that Beetlejuice was my color, Kool-Aid, right?
I love
But
them. I
I
love
love
Vortex.
I do
My
too.
favorite. It is so my
And
favorite.
it
I also made Gangnam Style.
yes. That was
Yeah,
the best
yeah,
thing about sharing a table area with you, was that I got to
all
play
the
with
music.
everything, and I was telling everybody, "Look at this. You gotta
Right?
buy this.
No,
How can
I'm
you not
sitting
buy
there. So
this?"
she's sending people my way. I'm sending people her way.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, she's giving away those bells over there. The little dingy bells when you go into the thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, those are the coolest things. They're like, oh, really? When you would go away,
People are
I'm like,
messaging me about them too. They're using them on their investigations.
they are. They tell me
Oh,
too, and
I gotta show
they
you.
and I'm supposed to say thank you actually from a
Oh,
couple
of
people. So,
course. This is mine,
yeah, it's
which is a
beautiful.
little bit more intricate than the ones that I was
It
selling,
doesn't matter because they do the same thing, but it's
but
still
see,
that's
you can just, I mean, it's just
yeah,
you don't, it goes off, my hands on it right now, but, they're so easy to do.
yep,
It's just not even,
yeah.
I have got to send a quick message,
Okay.
but,
And like I
because I
said,
had to change computers.
okay, and on our cats, their buttons are on the paw to turn it on, and then the other
Oh,
button to change the mode is on the collar. But they
yeah.
also come with little bells, and the spirits like to play with the little bells that are on the collars of the cats too. So all of a sudden you'll hear the little tinkle
Oh,
of
I
the
love that.
yeah. So I don't have a cat up here. Since we got back from Para Unity, uh,
Yeah.
because so the three main ones that we go to and that I think everybody on the planet should go to is ours, of course, Penhurst Paracon in May, and then
Yes.
Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, that's always in July, and Para Unity, which is in November in New Jersey. And we just got back from that. So everything is still packed up, and I'm still haven't gotten, away from that. One of the reasons I had my huge Halloween display, and I was trying to take some things down because it was like the day after Halloween that we had to leave. And I mean, it's a massive display.
That's
Yeah.
wow.
So, and so we work the event all weekend. It's exhausting. You're up the entire time and parties at night and
Yeah.
selling all day and trying to find a place to eat, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the packing, the unpacking, the loading, the unloading, so we did this huge display, Halloween, house full of people, take in some stuff, leave, go to the event, come home, to put all this stuff away, and then
Oh,
day after day after day after day. I killed myself. I made myself sick, and then I was sick, and oh my god! And I was trying to buy a car, and I'm like, I can't come see the car because I'm in bed. I'm dying because I did. I was
I'm
work,
glad that wasn't real.
and no, I'm not dying, but I mean, I was just like, I was just so. Oof, I was wiped. I slept for like 2 days solid, after all of
Yeah.
it. But
Well, sleep heals
it did, and it
better
does.
than anything.
Yes, yes. And a new car doesn't hurt.
The new car,
But then
it's so
it
funny.
all worked out for a reason because if I went the other ones, because like they were okay, they were okay, they were okay. But this is when I was like, oh, I really like this. And this one that I got, this was close to me. It's like 15 minutes
Oh,
from my house. So it's like, oh, good. Can I say, I'm not really feeling great, but hopefully in the morning I'll feel okay and come see it then. And then I was like, papers were done that day. I said, oh, we're doing this.
yeah. Go ahead and get it done before somebody else does.
That's
Well,
right.
I have to, and I don't know if I told you. I mean, I told you that I knew those cars because when I went to Contact in the Desert, that's what I rented in Vegas to drive down in. Because I leave David at Happy Daycare, right?
Yeah.
But it was so, that's right. But it was so much fun because it was my first time driving one, and
So
I'm
smooth.
yeah, and I am an SUV girl because
Yeah.
dogs, right? So and equipment. But there's one like yours that's here in town. and I drove it, and they had a black one too. And I just thought, I like white cars. I really
I
just
do.
do.
I do.
So and then David said, "Oh, well, we're just going to do that before the first of the year." And I'm like, "It'll be
Uh-oh. Well, we're not sure what it's going to be, but I'm sure it will be something. So while we're waiting for Kat to come back, what I do have is a 2020 Cadillac XT6, and it's pretty big. It's 3 row seats, and it's really really kind of nice. But you know what I didn't explain yet for equipment, since we're on our own here. This is a dome. This is for manifestation. Okay, so when a spirit manifests, they make static energy. So like for me to try to get this to come off, you need kind of static energy. You see the lights. This is like the cheapest thing that we sell, quite honestly, at Vortex Ghost Gear. But the thing we use the most, because they comes in 8 colors, and you can set these things up going down the hall. And what it does is, hi.
Hi.
Oh, is we waiting for her to come back?
Yeah, cat's
Okay.
having issues right there. So go ahead.
Okay, so when you set these up going down the hall, so we have all the 8 colors. Or a matter of fact, here, right outside this door, there's going out to my 3rd floor. There's 16 steps between each floor in my house. So I had all the things on the stairs, all the different colors, and a spirit box going. So when I had some friends of mine over, I said, can you light the orange dome? So the spirit box says orange, little pause, dome, and then the dome on the stairs, the orange one, goes off. And then, my friend was like, you know, but so it was like, it's highly intelligent. The spirits in this house are definitely highly intelligent and definitely mischievous. And they won't allow Bob to come up onto the 2nd floor. If I leave, if I go visit my family or something, they'll slam doors, they'll do this, they'll do that. Bob will stay down on the 1st floor. He says, okay, forget it. If they ever tried doing that to me, I'd be like Kat. I'm like, oh no, you don't. It's my house. This is not happening. I'm allowing you to stay here.
Right. How old is your house?
Well over 100.
Well over 100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because the
amazing.
Dennison house, hi,
hi.
the Dennison house
Okay,
was
she's back.
historical house. That's 17 something house. And there's a picture, an old picture of my house and the Dennison house. That's really cool. And then they were the only ones on the street. Like, actually, since we were talking about my house, okay, the
Yeah.
front of my house, which is the back of my house. If you come up my street, you're driving and you see the back of my house, but the front of my house is grand. And from the avenue, which is way out there, you can look up the hill and see my house, the front, because that's what there was for a road. There
Oh,
wasn't this
wow.
road when this house was built. That was all apple orchards that was around us. And it was just this house and the Dennison house. So there was the side street that came up, and it went straight down. So then they added that. So the back of my house is the front of my house.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, truly.
Yeah.
How old is it? Because I heard you saying the
Yeah, it's
year.
well over 100. I don't know exactly the year. On the papers, what they were saying when I signed it, I think it said 1926, but it's not, because it's older than that. Because there's stuff, like I said, with the Dennison, and there's some other houses here that were born, created, built around that time, which was later. And this house was well here, and there was the Engel family, and this is Englewood Terrace, so it's kind of, there's a lot of history, but when I first saw it, it was like the car. Okay, when I was
Yeah.
explaining about the car, I was like, I really liked that car, the car I got. The other ones were okay, but that was the car I liked. This house was the first one that I fell in love with here in Pennsylvania. It went pending 3 different times.
Oh,
I drove my poor real estate guy, who's a very dear friend of mine now, but we drove him nuts, because I swear he took me to see about 100 houses. And I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it because I like this.
Yes.
This is me.
Well,
You
if you
know,
find the one that sings to you,
yeah,
nothing else is gonna work.
yeah, yeah. And even though I needed a lot of work and you know big repairs,
Yeah.
and what kills me is because that's what I used to do for work was tool belt diva and interior design and decorating and remodeling and all that, and I did all the work, but I'm old and I can't do all the work anymore.
I I just recently learned that I'm too old to do the work too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
but I
I
keep
I
trying.
redid a little bitty place, and it took me way longer and way more money than it should have simply because I don't have the strength that I did,
Right. Yeah.
and it's a big difference.
Yeah. It gets depressing, doesn't it? It really
It
does.
sucks.
And then, yeah, I mean, I hate hiring people. I used to put in windows, and I had to
Mhm.
hire someone to come in and put in. I mean, I got 50 something windows in this house. I
Holy
mean,
smoke, girl.
a whole bunch. So, like, I replaced the first batch, I replaced, like, I think 26 windows. And then I replaced three round windows. I got round windows in the front, all the rounded windows. That's all this side. So I replaced all the square windows first because those were cheaper. But it
Yeah,
was still a big chunk of money. So it's like, ugh, and then I redid and fixed the arch windows that were on the ground level because
mhm,
I could stand there and do them.
right.
But I don't
Makes
want
a
to
big diff.
do the ladders, because it's pretty high. Like, there's 16 steps between each floor of this house, so it's like really high
That
ceilings, and
is really high.
it's like 3,950 square feet. It's big.
That's a big old baby.
Yeah, yeah. And I've done a
Well,
lot, but I'm like, now I got to pick and choose and a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. But when I first came in, I saw the third floor ghost, right, which is Stanley.
yeah,
And as soon as I went into a room, like there's a big bedroom and a small bedroom up on the third floor, and he was in the big bedroom. I saw him quickly off the corner. I could describe him, and I did to my neighbor. I said, "Oh, wow, that sounds like Stan." And he goes, "But that was his room up there." But this was after the fact that, right? See the library? I have lots of
yeah.
books, right? So, and I have books here, and I have books here, and I have books downstairs. I have books everywhere. I had one when I bought it, moved in, one Western civilization book, about this thick, this big, heavy. There's a library downstairs. I was putting the book on the shelf, and then the book would be on the floor. And I'm blaming Bob for moving my book. I'm like, what are you doing to my book? Why do you keep putting?
He's
He's like,
yanking your chain, man.
he's like, I'm not doing anything to your book. And I put it back on the shelf, and then bam, it's on the floor. I'm like, what the heck? And then we were moving stuff in, and my neighbor came over, and he was talking, and he was like, telling me about the previous owners and Stanley and stuff. And he goes, so I know that you guys do this with the paranormal. He goes, have you seen anything or heard anything? I said, as a matter of fact, I said, there's this book incident. And then I saw a man on the third floor, and you could see his eyes just starting to, like, oh my God. So then he told me about Stan. And then I found he left, they left because I've got these big, the built-ins with the really huge drawers. Like way
Mhm.
in the back, there's stuff that was left in there, and it was his diplomas from school and everything. So,
Oh, wow.
I put those up in his room. But that room up there was his storage room, and it was floor to ceiling books, like a hoarder style books, books that he loved. And of course, they had to clean out the house in order for it to be sold. And they tried to donate a lot of the books, but some of them were dry rotted, so they had to get rid of them,
Oh,
because
dear.
they're for that long. So, he was all upset about his books and stuff. So I took that book, and he said that he liked Western civilization. So I put the book upstairs on the third floor for him. And now I go out and I buy books for him, and I put them up there for him, to keep him happy up there. But
That's cool.
yeah, it's like, if you can live with them, you know, peacefully, and a lot of people can, but
Well, if you're having if
issues
you're not yeah,
do.
if you're not a schmuck, they won't generally be a schmuck to you,
True, true.
but if you find that they are, I had a case recently where, a individual. There were 4 little, like, row houses, and one of my friends, who is a dog park friend, was having a problem with his dog refusing to go in the house, cowering when he went in the house, and he called me, and he was like, "Bo hates this. Can you" well, if it's Bo, I'm coming, right? So, I got my friend Lori flew down from Ohio, and, we were another friend lives in Pensacola. So, I called him and said, "Will you come and check this house out with me?" And because he's a medium, he's an experiential medium, and he's a psychic, like, to beat the band, and he doesn't even have to go. He was just, you know,
Yeah,
making
just for
me
you.
letting
Yeah,
me play.
yeah.
But, he channeled while we were there.
Ooh, who did
And
that too?
have you ever been with somebody that's a real channel?
Yeah,
It's trippy, right? It was my
yeah,
first time.
yeah. That
And,
was my old partner. He does that.
well, it's wild. I mean,
It is.
because the whole face
Everything
and the
changes.
hair, the posture, everything became the other person. I was tripping out, but, it's just one of those things that I go into it like I'm going to be doing just a paranormal investigation with my tools and my senses and my, spidey whatever, and my toys. Well, the person had no interest in any of that. So I was really glad Mark came, but this spirit was affecting, all 4 houses, but there was a dog 2 doors down that was almost dead because it was being so,
Right.
unpleasantly affected by this. By the
Yeah.
time Mark got through, that dog hopped up off the bed and ran into the kitchen and was just like, "It's all good."
Yeah, that's the serious part of what we do. Like going
It
and
is.
investigating different places, like taking people on investigations, things like that. That's not like the serious end of everything.
It's
But
not.
when a family calls, like we just went and I did a family rescue. A 10-year-old boy was being attacked by
Oh,
an angry gentleman spirit in the house. Now, usually when I get a call like that, or we get a call like that, we'll go do an investigation. We'll come back. We'll listen. So like I ask them questions. We're counselors, right? So we ask the family questions. We go and we ask the spirit questions,
mhm.
and we'll listen to that, and then go back and report what we heard from the spirit. Like, oh, what's going on. But when there's a child involved,
Yes.
and this kid was getting scratches down his back and everything. So we went there to do the investigation. But as we're doing the investigation, I'm getting more like, no, I'm doing this today, and I knew to bring all my stuff. I have a kit, that I use.
Sure, yeah.
But usually, again, like to do the investigation to find out who it is as to what method to use to get rid of it. Right.
Mhm.
I did everything. I did everything in my kit. I was doing like Catholic. I was doing shamanic. I was doing my earth and grounding and this and that. And
Yeah.
I did the holy water. I did all the sages. I have like lots of oils, and they have like good oil mixtures. I gave them orange peels to burn, because like an orange peel, like when you burn sage, it's
Mhm.
kind of like that smoke right there. That's like giving the ghost a Valium, really. But when you burn the orange peel, it's like a whole nother level of cleanse.
Right.
Because it's citrus. Citrus cleanses. But when you burn it, it's like stage on steroids, right? I did that. I whammy this house. And then I sealed the whole outside rim of the house. So now the kid's happy. He's
Right.
okay to be. He wouldn't even sleep in his own room, all kinds of stuff. And so he was content. He was happy. And thing is, he's a budding little psychic himself.
Right.
And then he said, oh, he goes, all of a sudden, he goes, now I'm seeing like angels. He goes, I can tell that they're angels. And he goes, can angels have a sense of humor? Like, would they make funny faces and stuff? And I said, yeah, they
Yeah, they do.
would. you know, so he's like, okay, because and I said, but if you're ever bothered by something that you're seeing, you don't understand, just tell them you're not open to receive right now. I said, later on when you get your training, you'll be able to give yourself hours. All right. So if you want to have these things, want to come in and talk to you, all right, it's at 5 o'clock. Okay, I will sit
Right.
at 5 o'clock, and you come in and talk to me then, and then we're gonna go till 7, and then you're done, you
Yeah.
know, and that's it. And those are my hours, and that's my rules. So I will do what I can for you in that time. So I'm explaining to him that this is gonna happen later, not now. But I said,
Right.
if you're getting still, hurt by these things or anything, I said, I'm gonna bind your powers. And he's like, no, no, no. I want to see my angels. I want to see my angels. And I said, all right then, you know. But then I had to go back and seal the property, the whole,
Mhm.
because then he was afraid to go outside. He thought something was going to be outside, attached to still this gentleman that owned the house.
Oh, yes.
Like I cleansed the whole garage, I cleansed the whole and sealed the whole property. But I'll tell you what, I was going down the side, and there's a house that's right next to him, like shared, almost shared driveway. And there's
Yeah.
a little chain link fence between the two. And usually I just put the like coins on the corners of the edges. But as I'm going down, it's like I just kept, when you do use spidey senses, right? I call it spidey
Yeah.
senses too. I was like, there's something in this house. And the kid said, I see them. He goes, I swear there's demons in their windows. He said, these people just moved in and they're not nice people and blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't know what they do. And even the mom, she's like, oh, don't deal with those people. So I ended up putting a few coins down that edge. And I'm like, if I'm going to build a wall here, I'm building it higher than that house is.
Yeah.
So, like block that out too. But that's a more serious end of this is to, help. Obadiah can hear things, can't realize he was hearing them. He would just say things thinking it was on time. Okay, there you go. Okay. And how old is Obadiah?
He's not very old. How old is he,
It-
April?
it's confusing for them when they're little like that. Like 10-year-old girl is a little bit more advanced, a little bit more, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Usually,
Well,
and then
it
a,
seems
and a
that
10-year-old boy. He's
8.
okay, so he's very confused about it. So yeah, um, if you want to tell him, just really stay open with him and listen to everything he says, and just
She will.
not to be scared, but just say, he's the living, he's the one in charge, he's the one who has the power. They
Yeah.
don't, you know, and they're trying to communicate. They want to have their things, heard and said. And as soon as
Well,
they see
but
someone
they
that,
also want to have it their way.
yeah, no, it's not
And,
that way.
that's why when it's kids, it's a whole different, like you said, it's a whole different, show that
Right,
you have to,
right.
the strength and the ferocity sometimes that you have to bring to it because
It,
different strokes with different looks.
it,
It's
that's
just the
so
way
true.
it goes.
It really is. It really, really is. But he's the one that will have to set those boundaries. And if he wants to feel safe, give him a little bottle with spray holy water and
Yeah.
tell him to put that by his bed, and he can spray that. He can seal his own bedroom, like so he won't get bothered at night, so he can seal his own room. He can put the holy water cross over the windows, over the door, seal the room, put four religious medallions in the corners. All those things keep his area clear, so that's his zone, his safe zone. But eventually he's going to have to go into like a psychic training, and it might dissipate too when he gets older, because it's
It
strong.
does a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah,
But at 8, he's not really hitting that hormonal part
no,
yet. But
but
I
as
know
long
that with girls, it's very serious at that point.
yes, it really is. Yeah, girls are very different than boys. Boys get like just you know confused and scared, and a girl is like more. I feel like they get more defensive,
Mhm.
than a boy. I don't, later on that's going to switch, right?
Yes.
Because the boy will get more defensive, but when they're younger, I mean, that's what I've seen thus far in the kids that I've dealt with, you know.
I've investigated with different teams, and I really don't know anyone that brings. I mean, now I just do me, and if somebody needs help, it's really weird because I'll be at the grocery store and somebody say, "Oh, well, do you do these things?" And I'm like, "I'm buying frosted flakes. That's what I do. But it's really weird because people recognize
Mhm.
what we do and
Yeah.
what we are. And it's disconcerting sometimes. I mean, here, because we're not New England, right?
Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries.
Yeah. But I
Mhm.
but I feel like I walk in mine, you know, but every so often, and usually it's somebody who has a need.
Well,
And it's almost like
how do you feel when they talk to you? Like, do you feel like that, or it's like, wow, I really got to help this person, or
it's
it
funny
hurts?
because
They're
if I approach it like, well, I don't really know exactly why you're talking to me, right? And it's weird if somebody asks me for, specifically asks me for something, I get so bothered. It's almost like a nervous tick or something
Mhm.
until I do it.
Yeah, you got to feel
It's,
comfortable.
it's like the,
Preservation is what it is.
huh?
It's self-preservation.
Well, it's, if I don't do it, that doesn't go away though. I mean, that is if somebody has a real need and I'm putting it off
Yeah, then you
for
got to go.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
because
that's
it's
why I
like,
went right away with that. I mean, Bob got the phone call. It's
yeah,
his number on the thing, not mine. You know, but he's like, if it's something he feels it's dire, then he comes.
hmm,
If he comes to me with something, then I know it's something that we really need to go to. But when
yeah,
I heard the story and I saw the picture of the kid with the scratches and stuff, I was like, yeah, we got to go and we got to go ASAP.
yeah,
And then I had to make him wait a little bit before I could get the yard sealed
hmm,
because I had to go get religious medallions and I was in the middle of like so many things and I couldn't. There's not a religious store right around me.
right,
So I had to order them, have them shipped, and then as soon as I got them, I'm like, "Hey, I got them," and then I go and I have a priest bless them, and all this stuff, and that's what I use when I seal the yard, you know, and I even have like a cross pick like thing that's blessed that and I make the sign of the cross as I'm digging my hole to bury that coin.
right.
And then I put some holy water on it, and I say my things and my affirmations, and seal the property. But I was like, I felt so bad that I had to make them wait. But from Massachusetts, when I was there, I mean, there was
Right.
like a religious store almost at every corner. Here, I'm like, you have to go to Scranton, and that's kind of a trek.
We got nothing. That's not true because EWTN is here.
Oh, okay.
So you can go to their gift shop. If you
Yeah,
need a St. Christopher or anything, you can go there. You can't
yeah,
necessarily get them blessed, but you can get them. And
yeah,
if a priest happens to be walking through, boom, you're done.
yeah.
So,
But
but
I mean, if you can't get them blessed, like I have well, you can't even see it over there. I have a singing bowl, that
mhm.
is like the crystals and things like that. You can do that. You can bless with holy water yourself.
So like I have a bowl. How do you use it to bless?
All right, if you put your coins in there, like usually you put all your crystals and things in there, and you recharge them. And if you take that, do you have the?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's like
Because yeah.
if you say your affirmation, say what it is that you want to be doing. Okay,
Hmm.
saying I want these blessed by. All right, do you want it blessed by God, by Jesus, by Archangel Michael? What are you fighting? Okay, what do you need these blessed by? That's what you want to ask them to bless it, and then you ting it and go around and ting, go around, and then I would let them sit in there all night, and I would ask
Okay.
the spirits bless those while they're in there. But then when you take them out, it's like I would put them in a satchel by itself en route,
Yes.
you know. But then again, where you're putting them, I also put holy water with them, you
Hmm.
know. So
To protect them.
yeah,
Well, okay. That makes absolute sense. And I have to put this back on. I have a little
yeah, the little donut.
seat
Yeah,
because otherwise it makes a, although you will notice that the noises have stopped.
yeah. Yeah,
So
the internet's working perfect. The noises stopped. So I don't know.
yeah,
When you rebooted your computer, did you boot them out? Did you say, "Can you stop?"
I did. My computer actually literally died.
Oh,
And it was plugged up because
huh.
I went in the living room to see if there was an extra plug in there. And when I walked back in here, it was plugged up. And I'm like, why
Hmm.
did it die? I don't know.
Well, it gave me a chance
But,
to talk about a dome, and Carl came on, and we're talking about the house.
oh,
That's it. No
did you
worries.
talk about the static dome?
I talk. Yes, we did.
Awesome.
We
Yeah,
did.
I have not. My I got compromised again on my cards, so I'm waiting on my new ones to come in.
Oh
This
boy.
is the second time in 3 months,
Oh, yeah.
so I am going. But for y'all that don't know, that static dome is the coolest thing. So if you,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's for manifestation. So again, all right. So this is hearing. All right.
yes,
That's right. So the boxes of hearing. This is range. All right.
hmm
So this is range. It's temperature and motion. So you can monitor a whole hallway or a stairwell, or point it in the direction of a room. If you were had opportunity to get two, you can point one in one direction, one in one direction, the other in the other.
yes,
And they do have different sounds. So if it comes from this end and it's Wednesday, you know that the spirit's on that side. So take your pictures, talk, investigate. It's right there.
hmm
Or if it's this one and it's Jack and Sally music, then it's over there. Take your pictures over there, video over there, because the spirit's over there.
yes,
So these things are range, really,
and
and
the
temperature and motion. So it's a temperature, a degree hot or a degree um, cold. That will
and
set that off.
that was an absolute shock when Bob was demonstrating that for those guys because the range, I
Yeah.
didn't realize how far 35 feet were. I mean, I was just like, holy
They
whoa.
were, and people had it going up. One was almost 50. You know what I
hmm
mean? They said it
Yeah,
was working perfect at
over
45.
by the hallway.
And yeah, so it goes far, and it's a V pattern. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's it goes out. That's why when it reads, it's gonna stay on until it's done
Yes.
reading.
Well,
So
my husband
something
was like,
out
why is
there.
that still going? I said, I know, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
something's moving.
So that's what
Something's
I talked to you about
yeah.
because I knew it was operator trouble.
Usually there is something up. Well, sometimes we have components, we have parts and pieces and things, sometimes they break, but we
So,
guarantee for life, and we're
yeah.
not like other people when they say, oh yeah, we'll guarantee it, and then you ship it back and you never hear from them again. They leave the country or who knows what. But
Oh,
we fix things all the time,
well,
and
my big box
yeah,
that I got that first time that we were at Gettysburg together, I love that thing and I take it when I go. But it had been so long that I'm like, I don't remember what to do. And so I had to message Bob. I was like, I don't remember what to do here. And he was like, this.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
I
okay.
know, I know. It is. It's like it's very. We answer the questions all the time.
Yes.
If we don't get back to you right away, it will be as soon as we possibly can.
Well,
You
it
know,
was amazing because
because
I could see the eye roll all the
yeah,
way from
again,
here.
usually, did he send the arrow? Because he does that. He'll be like,
But
it's usually user error. But April's asking, do you have
yeah, I
protection
was going to say
for bad
she's got
dreams?
another question.
That yes, okay. If is this for you or is this for him? Because
I,
for him, what he should do is ground and shield twice a day. Like this is what I do. I get up in the morning and I ground and I shield and I put the bubble around me. So that's my protection. When I go to bed, I put that bubble and that shield around me, so I get rid of the day's crap. And then the nighttime, if they're gonna try to come in, because that is okay. This is a big thing for people, okay?
yeah.
When you're sleeping, okay, a spirit that might have been knocking at your door all day long, and because you're so busy all day long, your brain is so busy all day long. I gotta get the kids here. I gotta go grocery shopping. I gotta pay this bill. How am I gonna? I gotta go buy that car. How am I gonna? Right? All this stuff all day long.
Yep.
At night, no. All right. Spirit knows that they're gonna try and talk to you then. Okay. And then the most part that your brain is shut off from all your thing is the beginning of REM sleep, right? So
Yep.
now when people wake up and they feel like something is on them, and they say, "Oh my God, I'm attacked, and I am being pinned down," and blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, out of 100%, okay, someone that's actually being pinned down, 1-2%, okay, because
Yes.
your body paralyzes itself. Okay, it's a built-in mechanism. Google it. Okay, your body paralyzes itself so you don't hurt yourself, because when you're in REM and you're dreaming, you can get up, you can walk, you can do, so sometimes this malfunctions on people, and that's why they sleepwalk. Okay,
Hmm.
but you are paralyzed. So that's a self-preservation, self-protection mode built in. But a spirit knows that your mind is shut off and you're going to hear the message at that point. So
Yeah.
sometimes they're so loud that they wake you up. And now you woke up and your body hasn't recovered from being paralyzed yet. So you're going to panic, and think that they're holding you down. Maybe you see them, sure. Okay. But they're just trying to talk. Okay. Really,
Yeah.
they're really usually not going to hurt you. They just have a message that they're desperately trying to get out. But the thing is, too, even when you're paralyzed, your tongue will still work. If you are that afraid, you can make the sign of the cross with your tongue, like on the roof of your mouth. You can say prayers to, inside, please, protect me from what's trying to, communicate with me. But before you go to bed, say, no, do not come while I'm sleeping. It's like, again, you are
Set a
the
boundary.
power. The boundaries are made by the living. This may be more personal, I'd like to share, but the past year I have had some give me a dream about one of my kids dying that is very, very real, so much so that it's given me PTSD, and I freak out almost daily with a circumstance in the dream occurring in real life. Okay, all right. Okay, this is another thing. Your spirit guides, your angels, your spirit guides, we all have them, all right,
Yes.
can be putting this thought for you to be aware. Okay, a psychic may give you a reading and say, this, I see this, and you can take steps to stop this. Okay, so if you're afraid of, if there's a specific scenario on how this incident happened,
Hmm.
avoid it. Okay, um, take heed to what your spirit guides tell you. Your gut instincts, your stomach, your chest, all these things, all those warning signs, those are direct from your spirit guides. Those are
Yes.
all influences, all outside influences. So that's not really you. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you panic on something because your spirit guides are coming in saying, whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Don't go there. Don't do this. Don't see that person. Stay away from this. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
they panic, therefore you panic. All right. But it's all warnings. Um, Also, you'll get good dreams too. Like something good will happen, and it's like, okay, so what steps do I need to make that happen? You know what I mean? So
And
yeah,
sometimes too, you'll recognize that when you're walking through it.
yeah,
And, that's what deja vu
yeah,
is,
yeah,
is recognizing what you've been told about. Or, you know,
right,
also, it's really important, April, I think, and I'm going to just reiterate this with you, Gina. You pay attention and you eliminate. If you start seeing something that is bringing this to you,
yeah,
adjust,
yes,
move.
yeah, yeah.
Because
Go
I
that way.
dreamed,
Go
yeah,
this.
I dreamed that I died on a roller coaster wearing orange. And I used to love to wear orange because, great color.
It is.
And
So
so I don't wear anything. I have a little bit of
okay.
pinky orange on
Right.
here, but I do not wear orange, period, because I took that to heart
Exactly. Yeah.
because too many things happen in real life for me to not listen to that. And same for you, April.
Yeah. Well, me too. You know,
Yeah.
too.
April is April is very sensitive, and that's why this is something, and she has many children, they're all cool, but it is terrifying when you're a mom.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
And
whatever warnings you get, take heed. and they'll give you too, just to make you pay attention to some things. They may go all the way to dying. All right. It
Mhm.
could be just it could be an injury. You could be saving them from an injury, but they just really want you to pay attention. So they,
Yeah.
they're helping. They're
They
really,
steer
yeah.
your attention.
Yep. Yeah. 100%. I hope that helped. I mean, I really do.
It
But
will.
the grounding and the shielding and stuff like that too, if you're getting bothered by spirits that night, helps. The telling them too, don't bother me at night. Or if you, the opposite, if there's someone that you love just passed and you say, okay, I haven't seen any
Yeah.
other signs, maybe you're not paying attention because the signs could be subtle. But everybody else gets signs and I don't get signs, and and all that stuff. So when I hear that, I say, okay, when you go to bed, say, please, can you talk to me tonight? And please let me remember it. So basically, tell it to me when I'm closer to waking up, because that's when you'll more remember it. But your intent, your reality, your perception, your intentions, that is your reality. I mean, you have to put that all into play, and mean it. So that's
Well,
like
especially that you have to believe,
that.
you
Yes.
know, you have to have confidence in what you're doing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Huge
Yes. It's
difference.
real. I mean, it's real. We're walking proof. You know what I mean? It's real. There's so much that goes on, and so much. People will tell me things. I don't know everything. No, I don't think anybody knows everything. I know quite a bit. I mean, I've been doing this for years.
I like that.
but still, I'm still learning new things, and new experiences, and different, the gifts that people have still. I love all the different gifts that people have, and that's another thing too. Like, some people can see and hear and smell and taste and whatever. And we need all those things, just like in
We
world.
do.
Yeah, we need teachers and politicians and storytellers.
Really.
We do. Yeah.
No, we don't need politics. I'm kidding. But,
Real politicians, not what's going on now. But
well, I'm just all about, you know, you're right, because I could no more be a nurse than the man in the moon, because, ooh,
yeah,
and or a surgeon, ooh, but I'm great with dogs, which has their own level of ooh, and kids, definite ooh. But everybody has their strengths, and it's just like with what spiritual people do with their gifts.
yes,
I
yes,
am I don't always know that I can do something until
right,
I'm put in a place where it has to happen, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm the only one here, right? Let's try this. And
right.
that
And if
sometimes, and that may be what April's feeling now, because she does have several children, and they are all varying ages, and she does such a good job. But this is something that's scary. And
Yeah, but if I find I can't do something, then I'll find someone who can.
exactly.
Because they're again, like, with all the different gifts and everything. So yeah, I can't get rid of everything. I can't. My old partner, he would channel the spirit. I would talk to the spirit, and he has the ability that he could break that spirit down to particles and
Really?
put it back out. So he if we can't, like, that's an exorcism, really, of the spirit. Like, we can't get rid of it, it won't leave on its own, and it's really bad. He would channel it, internalize it, bust it up. I mean, you can't destroy energy. He just destroys the entity part of the energy, and
Right.
back in the universe, and sends it out. And then I seal it out, and so there's different ways to cleanse the houses of stubborn things. I can't personally do what he does.
Right.
I try to force the spirit out, but if I can't do it, in it, you know what I mean? If it refuses to go, or if I'm not using the correct method or whatever, um, you know, hasn't really happened so much. Been pretty successful. Haven't had any callbacks or anything like that. Like everyone's happy. But I just know I can't do it all. I can't do everything that's out there, or if there's multiple things or whatever. But I will, do my damnedest to find someone who can do that next level, or multiple people, you know what I mean? Or have a lot more
Yes.
people than just me doing this, to help the situation.
When you said that he dissipates it,
Yeah.
that is really serious skills.
It is. It is. He didn't even know that he could do that. Because he would channel all the time, all the time, all the time. And then when it left, he said it was like a part of him. He could feel the energy like rip from him. You know what I mean? Like really crazy. And then he felt like he could make it leave in different ways. Like he knew he could manipulate the energy. Like he was learning.
Mhm.
He was learning. Then he realized that he could do that.
That's
So yeah,
wicked cool.
it was, because the first time I witnessed him do that, we had a spirit that was really, we were out in New York, right? We were in um, let's see, we were on the Farazan. I was in Queens, might have been Queens. But it was like a row houses, and this woman, I mean, she was saying that her countertops were changing, all this stuff she was saying. But we went in there, we were getting some nasty things. Like I even got a video of when he was channeling, and when it left, I actually got a shadow figure that came out of him, and I got the shadow going across the wall, like it backed out of him. But he
Wow.
was one nasty, nasty man. Like we tried everything too. We tried trapping him between the mirrors. We tried doing all these other things, and it wasn't working. So we ended up having to do that, and that finally worked, because I tried to get him to cross over. There was like pictures of the ships and things on the wall, and she said he seems to like that because he bothers everything else in the house, right? So I was like, even trying to make him envision a ship and sailing away and all that. Nope, nope, nothing work. So it was like,
Well, he was content where he was and didn't want to go.
yeah, but he was just nasty. He was
Yeah.
just mean and nasty. So he had to go. She couldn't go, she was very timid, and just scared out of her mind. So as a last resort, we did that, and never a problem since.
Well, that is so amazing to be able to do that. Um, I can't even imagine doing something on that level
Yeah,
because I don't really want to.
it
But
was definitely different. But when you're in it, and
you have to do it.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
okay. And I'm the one that, and it was scary for me. He's doing it, but I'm the one that has to pull him out of it in case it's not going right. So if I see him going down, or because he'll start hitting himself and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, no. So
That would trip me out.
yeah, but I'm the mama bear. You're a
Yeah.
mama
Well,
bear.
I am a mama bear. I mean, I would stay there and I would not just leave them. I would do it. But it
Exactly.
would still be like, "Oh my god.
But you got to do what
You
you got to
stop
do.
that. You stop that now." I
That's right.
mean,
That's right.
you do what you have to do in a scenario that you find yourself in. And, I had this woman had a stroke
Ugh.
and she lived rurally here in Alabama. And she had called because she was having all these things happen. Well, when she came to the door, the stroke created a foreign accent.
Oh
It
yeah.
affected
Happened
her.
to my sister. She talks like a
Did
little
it?
Italian lady now. Yeah, she's
Well,
got
this was French.
uh,
Yeah,
at the end. That's her now.
she was French. I mean, she had a French accent. And I was like, "Well, when did you move here?" She said, "I'm from here. I had a stroke. It made my speech center mess up."
I know, isn't it?
So,
I didn't believe it at first either. I'm like, oh come on, Kim. I'm like, hey,
right?
and that's
That's only the second
yeah,
person. Your sister's only the second person I've ever heard of that happening with.
that's your friend's the second person I've ever heard, because I mean, my sister gets it all. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, apparently this woman did too. And it was so wild because she was having all this stuff happen. And, I threw a voice box on the bed in her room and tossed a recorder down there with it. And um, there wasn't any hesitation. It was her name coming across, but it was like, Sue,
Mm.
Sue. And I'm like,
Hmm.
that's for you.
Mhm.
Do you recognize that voice? Because it was a very distinct voice. And then as we went through the house, she did not, but as we went through the house, different things were coming out of the conversation. And I'm like, oh, well, her daughter had brought some dolls that she found buried along the property line into the house.
Never
And
do
I'm,
that. I
I'm
never do
like,
that.
where are these dolls? Well, they were, and the woman had kept trying to throw them out and they kept showing back up in her house. And I'm like, no, you drive them away, because
That's
I thought that maybe the sister was bringing them in the house again once, but I'm like, we're going to just make these disappear. You need to do that. Like, I'm not taking them with me because I did that once. Don't do that.
Nope.
But
Don't do that either. Nope.
yeah, I mean, because the team I was with had all left me at this house, and as I was driving out, the man came running out of the house with an object in his hand in a panic and said, "Why would you do this? Why would y'all do this?" And I was like, "Do what?" You know? And it was like a little bitty Nerf football. And they had the spirit in that house had been throwing a football, and terrifying the kid. He was locking the door with the parents outside the room and the child in the room screaming. Um, Different things, a very, very negative experience. And so I'm like, we did not bring that. I can promise you, we did not bring that. And he put it in my car. He said, take it away, because they had thrown the one in the house away. He watched it leave. The garbage truck came, dumped out the garbage, took it away. It was back in their house that night.
These
And
things
so,
bound.
yeah. So I just took the ball because I didn't know what to do. And I just took it and I just, I did a binding spell and just threw it in a river. And, but as I was walking away, as I was driving away, bear in mind, I was littering. I really believed the big Indian when he told me not to litter. Okay. Keep America beautiful. I was having panic attacks about throwing something out the window into the river, but it wasn't coming home with me. But
that is true.
so,
But I mean, bind it and bury it, But I mean,
well,
if
let me
it's
tell
really
you.
bad, you can bind it and put in salt and put it in a box and then bury it.
Well, let me tell you, as I was leaving, because I had to do a U-turn to get to where I was at the river, and there was nobody around me. There were no cars, there was nobody biking, there was nobody walking. As I pulled away from the river, a guy in red, blue jeans and a red flannel and a red hat, I would have seen red, was walking toward me up the road. And I was like, no, no, you are not coming home with me.
Nope.
If you go back to those people's house, I will come back and get you. Do not do this. Find a place. And I sped on away, and I did not go straight home because I was just like, nope.
Not following you. Yeah.
Not following me. I went to a mall.
Oh, God.
So let somebody else take him home.
It's like, so many times. I mean, years and years and years and years and years and years and years I preached and preached and preached. Don't take anything home from an investigation. Don't take nothing, not a grain of sand, nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
Here we go. I'm living in Massachusetts.
No.
I drive to Staten Island to pick up Frank from my Staten Island team days. Okay. We drive all the way out. I drive all the way out to Trans-Allegheny. We investigate all night there. We left there, went to try to get sleep. but we didn't have enough time to get any sleep. And then we drove all the way to Hillview Manor, investigated there all
Oh my
night,
gosh.
right? Then I had to drive him back all the way to Staten Island. On my way home from that, now all this time, like days and days and days and days, and driving, investigating all night, no sleep and everything. I'm a little delirious. You know, when you get to the point where you're so tired, you're in the overtired that you're wide awake.
Yes.
I'm at that point, but
Yeah.
your brain is not functioning properly. But on the way home, I was going through the Berkshires. So I stop at the Houghton Mansion. I go to the cemetery because I haven't been out there in so long. I crossed, and I'm by myself too, crossed over the hill, went down to the Hoosac Tunnel, very haunted tunnel. I go in the tunnel. What do? I bring home a brick and a spike,
Oh, girl.
right?
Oh my gosh.
So I paid the price. Trust me, it cost me. I got home. This is after my husband passed away, and it's just me and my little teeny dog Lacey in my house. I get home from work, and I'm like, I have a brand new television, and it blew up. I have a computer and a printer, right? So this thing messed with my television. My printer blew up twice because then I replaced it right away, and they blew up another one, and then I got my computer, he blew that up, and then I'm like, knock it off. You know what I mean? Like whatever's going
Sure.
on here, still not making the connection with this brick and this spike. Now, told you I'm a designer, I'm a tool belt diva. I had the most beautiful kitchen. I've got the world's worst right now, but I had in this house the most beautiful kitchen, right? And
Right.
two stoves. The glass top stove with the double oven and the beautiful microwave over it. Now, this was a showroom. This kitchen was actually on HGTV for 2 minutes
Oh,
of time.
holy wow.
Okay. So I never used that because I had a gas stove, gas cooktop on my island. Okay. I always use that. No one touched my glass stove. That was like the holy ground over there. It's like I like shiny, I like it pretty. Don't go near it. Don't even look at it. You can use the ovens, but that's it.
Yeah.
Right. In the microwave. But I come home from work one day. I want to go clean my pool. So Lacey's in the kitchen, sitting there, as cute as can be, a little Papillon. She's a love. Okay. So she's sitting there. I go out, I clean the pool, I come back in, and I look over, and there's Lacey looking all bug-eyed, right? And I look at my stove, and I thought the stove was smashed. It's like, when tempered glass breaks and it's all the little pieces.
I
It's like
do.
the whole top of my stove is covered in glass. But then I looked up, and it's like this entity smashed my microwave and all the glass fell on my stove and I
Oh,
lost it. So I went and I grabbed the recorder, right? Because I can't see nothing. And usually when these things, I get the tones, I get the three tones, the high, medium, the low tones, and I'm getting like nothing from this thing, right? I put the recorder down and I'm screaming. I'm like frantic and blah, 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 like my stove, I'm like, that is it. I'm like, who the hell are you? And all this. I'm like, what? I said, if you're so brave and powerful and you can destroy all these things, and then, what do I got to do that you're going to show yourself to me? Blah, blah, blah. But I actually use those words. What do I got to do? Get you to show yourself to me. I go and I play it. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. All right. Loud as can be. Sacrifice your dog. I went, what?
hello.
Right? I'm like, my angel, my baby, my life, my love, my,
Not just no.
oh, dude, you have no idea what's going to happen to you now, right?
Yep.
Called up everyone that I know, and I was calling Joni and all, her friend, every powerful person that I know. And I said, you got to come to my house. You got to come now. I said, whatever this thing is, it's destroying electronics. It cost me $3,500 to replace all this stuff, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, it was expensive. Spike in a brick. Don't take anything home from a
Ever.
vacation, ever. Okay. And I returned it. But it was a long drive out there too to return it. But I had them come. We sealed my house. We got rid of him and everything, and the house was fine. But these things happen, even when we know these things. And like I said, I was just so bloody overtired, that I wasn't thinking correctly. And I did that. So,
Yeah.
space out investigations. If you're going to go do stuff like that, space it out, get your rest, Keep your wits
Yes,
about you. Keep your mind clear. Don't drink, no drugs, none of this when you're involved in anything like that. Just keep your mind clear because this
well, you
is
have to.
it's no joke, you know.
Well, that's why everybody and their brother, okay, everybody thinks that it's fun to go
Yeah,
ghost hunting,
right,
right?
right.
And I'm
Until
not gonna
something like
lie,
that happens.
I go to locations,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah,
do go and seek out experiences because
it's
if
an
I'm hmm?
it's an addiction.
It is an addiction.
It
And I
is.
don't do a lot of residential anymore. So, because I'm not with a team, I'm not gonna go alone. And so I'm just not. But and my research partner is working on his PhD, so he's busy. And he got married, so he's very
Oh,
busy.
oh, congratulations.
I know, and he's such a nice man. He married such a nice woman, but they're
Oh,
perfect together. But it's just like I'm by myself doing investigations. I'm not going to go by myself, not on a residential. So, you know, I'm very protected when I go because when you go into a public environment, you don't know who's been there, who's been casting. I have friends that own locations, and one of them, it is wired for sound. There's not a place that she's not aware of what's happening, except the
yeah,
bathrooms.
yeah,
And, she has people come all the time trying to cross the spirits, trying to release the spirits. And the spirits are there by choice.
right.
They worked there, they lived in that area, whatever. So I feel comfortable investigating there no matter what. But it's like a 9-hour drive for me.
Yeah,
And so, especially right now with all these people that nobody knows where they came from or who they are, I'm not traveling by myself that far. So I don't do a lot of investigating right now. And unless I go to Gulf Shores and we've got forts and stuff like that. But it's just really scary when you think about what people intentionally put out into the world. But I absolutely I would hell would freeze over before I took something home from some of the places that I go
I've
to.
said it. I've said it. I practice it. I don't even know what came over me. I'm just
Well, a
like
spike would be interesting though. I mean,
the brick was just so cool. It was like
yeah.
it was long and thin and really like
Oh,
it was so unique. This brick, you know,
cool.
and it was right next to the spike. You know what I mean? It was just like take me. You
So
know.
were they there alone? I mean, were they
It
just
was like
separated out there like that?
yeah, they were like the spike was crossing the little brick, and it's like
Oh,
I kicked it, and I was like, oh wow, that's really cool, and then I picked them up and I'm like holding them. And I'm like, these are really really neat, and I'm thinking, oh, these will look cool on my bookshelf. You know what I mean?
there
And
you go.
yeah, no,
Temptation, as it were.
yeah, right. Don't do it. Not even a pebble, not a sand, not a stone, not nothing, nada, nada, nada. Yink.
Well, I will tell you that we have a place down here like it's called Fort Morgan, and it's a beautiful old fort, but it's on the coast. Like there's a beach around it and stuff. And I don't even, well, I have, but I don't take driftwood or seashells or feathers. I don't take anything around there because I have had things that felt like you probably shouldn't have touched that, you
Yeah.
know. And it's hard, especially when there's such pretty seashells.
Oh, I know. I
And there
know.
are all kinds of beautiful ones there.
Yeah,
But
sure there are.
yeah, because that little Nerf football that taught me.
Mm.
And I did not take it. They threw it in my car. And
Mhm.
I was just like, "Oh, you ass." You know,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are you
And
doing?
that's the littlest things. You never know. I mean, it could be, this is what's the possessed item. You know what you don't know.
You
You
do not know. And it's almost bizarre, some of the things that spirits attach themselves to. What are some of the things that you've seen besides your
Well, Bob had a funny story. I don't know if I can pull it up here, if I can find the picture. It's a doll. It's a clown doll. Actually, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit down and look through the phone, but it's a clown doll, and it's a really ugly clown doll. But a woman called Bob and said, I am hearing footsteps running down my hall and sounds like cap guns going off, right? And
Oh,
and he asked her, he said, have you gotten anything new lately? And she's like, well, I went to a yard sale. That was
oh,
at a nursing home. Right. So Bob
oh,
passed away. Okay. And it was her items that they were having in the yard sale. Well, she bought this clown doll. Why she would buy
okay.
this clown doll is beyond me, but she bought the clown doll. And this is what was possessed. Okay. But she said, he said, well, put it out in the garage and see if it, if you hear it. She put it in the garage and she didn't hear anything. So she said, come get it. So he comes and he throws it in the back of his truck. And then he actually forgot about it for a little while. And then Dave Giuliano, he was trying to bind it, but of course he botched it. That didn't work. But John Zaffis, okay, he was talking to
Yeah,
John Zaffis and he was ready to take it and he was going to, put it in a museum, do his
yeah.
thing, put it in a museum. But in the meantime, here's oh my God, I'm drawing the Knickerbocker Hotel. What is her name?
Oh,
I'm drawing a
oh, I
blank.
don't remember.
No. What is I'm thinking? Oh my God, I can't remember. Oh God, she's gonna kill me. Um, I apologize. I apologize profusely. It's a old brain, but she has a lot of these types of items in her hotel that you can go, and stay there, investigate if you have the in teams that go there. Like us, we can go there, investigate. But there's a whole bunch of stuff. But the doll is there. Now, Bob ended up doing EVP sessions with it. He said, what is your name? He says, Justine Rose.
Oh,
So the woman that died was Justine Rose.
really?
So she possessed that doll. And she's still in that doll. And she's at the Knickerbocker Hotel. And people will sit there and try to, investigate with the doll. Bob goes in with the domes.
Mm.
Okay, one dome, he has the doll on his lap. The doll loves it. Justine loves Bob. Okay, just loves Bob. I should be jealous. But you put one dome on one side, another dome on the other side, and it'd be like, this is the yes, this is the no. Are they treating you okay? Yes. Are you talking to other people? Not so much. No, there's a no over here. You know what I mean? Like, has
Yeah.
a conversation. No one else can do this with this doll but Bob. It's the strangest thing.
Which is odd since you just threw her in the back of the truck.
I know. I'm like, you threw her back there. Then you go give her to Dave, who Dave's botching a binding ceremony, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God. But then he brought her to the proper place that she really
Right.
is enjoying being in, because of
Well,
all the different stuff in the hotel environment and everything too. It's kind of like the nursing home
that's what
environment.
I was going to say. It's kind of like an environment she's accustomed to.
Exactly. So,
Just the people change more.
right, right. But,
But that's pretty cool.
yeah.
But that is so funny that because
Yeah. And I
if one of us had thrown her in the back of the truck,
well,
we'd still be being crucified by her.
right? I mean, it's our lot in life, I swear to God. We have the conscience that just eats at us and eats at us like, no, do something about
Well, and in all fairness, Bob is so nice and so gentle, and yeah, I can see why she talks to him.
it. Yeah.
He's probably going to be so upset that I said those nice things, but it's true.
Because everyone else
And
is the grouch because he has that grouchy face. But yeah,
well, he does that on purpose.
he is a teddy bear. He
He
is.
is a teddy bear. You've got a very nice man.
I do.
So,
I do.
but
I'll keep him.
well, you might as well at this point, right? Breaking in a new one? No,
Yeah.
thank you.
No, jeez, I'm
Yeah.
telling you. And then look at him. He made me a fox. Yeah. I mean, come
You
on.
gotta love him. Well, and it's so much fun because we shared, several days next to each other. And it was the first time we had seen each other since
Oh,
I guess 5 years,
Probably.
right around.
Right.
And so, I was having so much fun because it was so great to see y'all. And
You're so busy
I
too.
know.
It's like so
Well,
busy.
I just kind of took over that end of your counter, and so
I thank
I
God.
was looking for I was looking for something to do.
Thank
But
God. We needed
it
the help.
it was when you have so many customers, it was a lot of fun for me. I like talking to people, and I
Yeah.
could get them, give them the story on the bells. I could give them magazines and sell a
Right.
few of the boxes, and it was just to me such a lovely time. I will say that the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash is one of my favorite events ever.
Mine too. Mine too. Mine too.
Because
Pam
I
and
like,
Steve are amazing people that run it. The
yeah,
proceeds are going to the wounded warriors.
it's a great charity,
Yep, yep.
and the
And like
kids with
yeah,
cancer. I mean,
right,
you
exactly. Yeah,
know,
there's like, and then Dana has her Pink Wishes there
yeah,
too. So there's a lot of different charities that are benefiting from that, you know. And
and
and like ours when we do Penhurst, it benefits
yes,
Penhurst and New Jersey for Unity, that
hmm
goes to other charities as well. Like I love that the fact of backing, of course, my
yeah,
friends, you know what I mean? Because
sure.
I love them dearly. I like, Chris and John, I love dearly.
Well, they're
And,
brilliant. I
Steve,
mean, they're
amazing.
very nice people.
Yeah. So, they support us, we support them. I mean, there's other paracons that are out there, sure. There are expos and paracons, and there's difference between them.
You know,
But, they're out for themselves. You know what I mean? Just
I
to
do.
money in their pocket. And we're busting our butts for charities.
Well,
And
there's not a lot of places. I mean, because it is hard for me to get to New England, and with equipment to be able to do all the things. Because again, if I drive, it's a horrendous drive, but
yeah.
I've learned where to fly into, and how to make it a little easier.
What you could do is you could always, if we're going to be at the same event, you could say, "Hey, can I ship some stuff to your house and can you drive it?" Because
That's what I should do.
yeah, because it might be cheaper in the long run. I mean, I don't know about shipping rates nowadays because they're, kind
Well,
of
it would be less than,
less stress than
yeah. I will
luggage.
do that.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that and make sure that you're still cool with that and everything, because I want
Okay.
to come to Penhurst. I wanted to go to the Para Unity, but I was having to do other stuff, actual real life related.
Yeah.
And so,
And you
but
lost your baby.
we'll talk more about that and schedule that.
Yeah.
But, that's one
And
of
ours
the,
this year is going to be ginormous.
yeah,
They're starting announcements this week. They're calling it soft announcements, okay, of what
right.
we're going to be having. But we've got the Ghost Hunters and the Ghost Brothers and Kindred Spirits and um, Destination Fear and Katrina and Nick Groff, and I guess since they're going to announce it this week, I can probably say it now.
Let her rip, because I want to know.
We got Josh Gates coming.
Get the heck out.
Yeah,
I love him.
I know. So
He is such a nice man. He's such
he's
a big man.
he is he
He's
is.
huge.
Yeah,
I won't say anything.
but
Nobody listening. I'll keep
yeah,
it a secret.
I know.
So,
It's just us and whoever's listening. but
but that really is
yeah,
that's a
so
very big deal, because he's a very nice man, and he's a very good draw. And he has really embraced the paranormal side of things.
right lately he really is.
Lately, he's
So
just really coming into that. But, he's just such a great big kid.
yeah, he is.
He just loves stuff. And I wasn't able to go to Para Unity when it was in Vegas and everybody got shafted by those stupid organizers, but there were a lot of people there that I would have liked to see. My friend Rick McCollum was at that Hollywood Ghost Hunters guy, and it was just like, I would really like to have been there. And then I heard what happened to all those people because those organizers just didn't pay anybody.
Right.
And so,
Right
you
about
know,
that. There's good and bad people in
there
this
are. I mean, there are, but I was
environment.
using that as an example to say that I would back y'all on anything that you wanted to promote because I know the kind of people you are.
Right.
And that's why you have these people coming to events because they know too.
Right. Right. It's
Yeah.
integrity, and it's, you know what I mean? And we're fair and we're just, and we're not, just pounding on our chest and look at me, I'm the best thing that ever hit the planet, come see
Well, your
me. It's like, no,
reputation
we're
speaks
not
for
coming to
that.
see us. You're coming to see the celebrities that we have. You're coming to see the ghost hunts that we have. You're coming to
Hmm.
the VIP things that we have, all the
Exactly.
different things that we have going on. That's what you're coming to see. Not us. We're not the stars. We're the promoters. We're the people that put it on.
Yep.
Come see us in our tent, get our equipment, You
Well,
come.
by jingo. And there's good equipment. There's great equipment. There's snuggly equipment. You can't go wrong with
It's
Vortex Ghost Gear.
customizable. This can be any designs all on these
If I
boxes.
could get to my box, I would have it up here.
Your own logos and things on there. All these music boxes can be different. It can be your team logo on there and any music
Yep.
you want, whether it's creepy or music box music or whatever, any kind of
Ooh,
songs
I
and
should get you to make a Fate magazine box.
there you go. There you go. I can put
That would
all
be cool.
the things all around. Like, yeah, it can say like on the back here, it can be the Fate magazine. On the top, it can be a cover. On the front, it can be,
We'll
articles.
play with that.
It could be two little covers over there. So there's quite a bit of spaces that I can fill with
And for
graphics.
anybody listening, no, I'm not just a crazy Fate magazine fan. I'm the host of Fate magazine radio too. So,
I gotta point this way.
there's a connection there. That's why it matters. But
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, people want their logos on things and stuff. Like hey, I got a fox in my box.
I'm so not touching that. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it.
Can you see how much fun we had when we were neighbors?
Y'all should have seen 3 days of this, y'all. And it was a good time. It was a great time.
It was.
And
Chocolate.
I'm excited about that because I've already decided I go to Scotland in June. Well, I'm going to Ireland next year in September. I don't know about June yet, but I will have more time early in the year to do things that I think are amazing. So,
yay.
I will be at Penhurst. So, I will put that out there now. I'm going to manifest that. I'm coming to Penhurst.
Awesome. We'll make it happen.
Well, what are your dates for next year?
It's the 17th, 18th, 19th weekend.
Okay. Because, that's a really great event. We were talking about.
We had like 7,000 people there last year, but when they hear all the things that's happening this year, it's definitely going to be more. We can have more people because of the fact we have the giant location,
Yes.
So
I've never been to Penhurst.
Oh my God, it's huge.
So because Krista Sedgeray was telling me that he was like, well, you can just drive up there on Sunday after because it was Gettysburg. We were at Gettysburg the first year I went, and he was like, I'm going right to Penhurst when I leave here. I'm like, I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
There's
Spring City, PA.
So I'm very excited about it.
But it's big. And, like you can see, if you look at old pictures of Penhurst, like in the older owners and stuff, and how decrepit everything was and how overgrown everything was. And then the new owners bought Matt and the other investors that bought the properties. Matt is amazing. The crews are amazing. Jim is truly.
Your equipment's going mad.
I'm not lying.
I think they're excited we're talking about it.
Right, maybe. Hi. But, it's like the buildings and the things, the ones that can be fixed are getting fixed. The ones that can't are getting torn down. The places are getting cleaned up. They just paved all the parking lots. I mean,
wow.
The Devon building that used to be just a hollowed out shell, water everywhere and everything. It's It's cleaned out. It's painted. It's actually got 2 bars in it right now. It's got lights,
Wow.
working on having toilets even. You know what I mean? It's amazing the progress to see what happens. And
Yeah.
this is why we do it, because we're preserving this property. So all in Penrith is, trust me, when you see it, it's so big, it's so much. We just run, the entire time, and it's just a lot of work. But you see the outcome. You see where this money is going into
Yeah.
what they're doing. All the things that Penhurst does. There are other events. The Halloween haunt is like something movie worthy. It is. It
Oh,
takes
wow.
hours to go through the whole thing. It's just crazy huge. And I take my kid to all these haunted attractions all over the place, and by far, I mean, they're like nothing. They're like, something I'd set up in my yard, for crying out loud, compared to what they do at Penhurst for the
Oh,
Halloween.
wow.
This is something to be experienced. If you have never done it, you got to do it. They do it in October. Wow. Like half of the tunnels, because you can investigate half of the tunnels, and the other ones are dedicated to the haunt. So they're already, all set up and stuff. And it's like
Right.
beyond.
That's sweet.
It's beyond. It's just so beyond. And the makeup, oh my God.
Well, we have a place here called we have a
do it.
we have a place here that's called Atrox. It's a haunted house, and it's scenes. So it was one of 3 like that in the country, and I got to participate in that.
Oh,
And
cool.
I was a disemboweled, blood, nasty hair, blah 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 blah, and I'm up there, and as I'm rattling my chains and moaning and stuff, all the kids from the high school come through and they go, "Oh, look, it's Miss Hobson." I'm like, what do I look like during the day at football practice?
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, if Autumn did your makeup, they'd never recognize you. Oh my God. She should be like Greg Nicotero should hire her. Like,
Oh, cool.
wow.
I can't wait. Well, I can't do Halloween,
uh,
but I
I know
still
I
love
didn't make
that.
it this year because we were so busy,
Yeah.
the Ireland tour. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
She can't
I
do
want to go
that.
to Ireland so
We're
bad.
going the first week of September.
I
Rick McCollum is talent for Secret Ireland tours. And since,
in September I booked a Airbnb in the Outer Banks, but I don't know when.
well, if it's not the first week of September, talk to me. I'll tell you all about this. So it's he has done, we did a terrible tour that he had booked with somebody the first time I went to Scotland, and then this year we did our own thing. 5 of us went and just worked with Scottish Paranormal, Highland Paranormal, and History and Hauntings tours, and they took us everywhere, everywhere. We were at Castle Menzies, well, they call it Mingus, Culloden Battlefield. You don't investigate there.
They don't
Everywhere.
allow it, or it's not
It's not allowed
oh,
because it's sacred ground.
okay.
And I had a pretty personal physical experience there and I am not an evidentiary medium at all. And I got shot at Culloden. I got whacked in the head at the Writers Museum. That
Wow.
never happens to me.
Wow.
So the spirits were really trying to they were reaching, and I guess I was a little bit more open. But it's oh, congratulations! April is graduating with her bachelor's, and that's going to be pretty
First
freaking
week of
cool.
September. Oh, then she's still going to
That's
apply
why
for
she's
a
not going.
good license, special education. Perfect. Oh,
Yeah,
hey, you
how
know
cool
what?
is that?
Good for
Big
you.
hearts.
Yeah.
This is a tough lady there in
No
our chat.
kidding.
I'm very proud for
She's
her.
doing all
So
that
I'll get
and
more.
dealing with
I'm not
everything.
very good at it like you are, but tell people more because we've only got a few minutes. Tell people more about where to come and find you, what to do, all the things you want to say.
All right. Well, okay. You can find me on my Facebook page, or I have got several pages. So I have GB Investigations. I have the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D Facebook page, and my YouTube channel is that. Please subscribe and like and share and all that kind of stuff. We have Ghostly Excursions page. We have Vortex Ghost Gear page, Ghost Detectives TV page, the Americana page, the Ghost Detectives Americana page. There's so many pages, and or my name there, Gina Bengston, and I have a Parafox
Yes.
page, because you can only have 5,000 people on this, so I have 5,000 people on this, 5,000 people on that. You know what I mean? So all the different pages. But yeah, so I mean, our shows are every Thursday from 8 to 10. So tomorrow we'll be back on my StreamYard. So this is her StreamYard. And I was talking to Carl
He was
about
brilliant.
this video in the background here, which I love.
Isn't it awesome?
I'm going to go play with that as soon as I get done here. I'm going to pop over to my StreamYard and see if I can make this happen. I'm just
He
like,
has UFO happening. I mean,
it's
he's
amazing.
really good at this stuff. He is
Um,
really, really good at this stuff.
yeah, he's a cool dude. He does a lot. But
Yeah.
yeah, so my show's on, the Fox 10 Gina B Mama D, every Thursday 8 to 10. And so we stream on our YouTube channel and on Mama D's Angel Meadows channel, because she had other things before me too. So she had other podcast stuff, and I snagged her and never let her go. So I love her. And what else? Yeah, come to Penhurst Paracon. If you go to penhurstasylum.com, okay, you can get tickets. Read the tickets carefully. Okay. If you're going to buy tickets to come to the event, there's different types of tickets to buy, and the prices range, and they go way up there in price, and, and then just admission prices. So if you want to get in and see all the vendors and, and see all the celebrities that we're going to have there and stuff, you just basically get through the door. Okay. But if you want to go to the VIP parties, if you want to do the ghost hunts, if you want to do all these things that are going to be happening, there's the extra costs that are added. But again, all the stuff is going to Penhurst,
Right.
and you'll see the difference. Go look at the old pictures, and when you see the place now, you're going to just be floored at what they've done, but just read carefully, all the things.
Make sure you're buying what you want.
Exactly. And then if you do plan on going, because there's so many people and you're going to be like, or vending, we open our vendors to the vendors that were there first. So we give that the opportunity, and then we open it up to other outside vendors, and you got to fill in a form. So when you fill in the form, it goes in, they review it, they accept it, you get an acceptance letter. If they don't, you'll get notified that too. And if you don't, we're full, or whatever the reason. So, like we have tents outside, we have vendors outside, we have some vendors inside. We're not exactly sure on how we're going to be doing this. It depends on how much stuff we can get done in locations. So there's like a giant tent. You can bring your own tent. So there's open air, there's under the tent, there's inside. But they just took over, like again, in Devon building where I said that they did all the renovations. They just made their shop in there. So they took away some of the vendor spots that's in Devon, but there'll still be other vendor spots in there too. So,
this sounds like a blast.
It's just massive, and it's just all over the place. And they just paved this big, huge, but I can't wait to see this parking lot. I'm like, I was excited about parking lot. This girl.
I get excited when I don't have to park in the mud and walk 3 miles too.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God.
It's so much better.
Oh, definitely. Especially my new car.
Well, I will go for a ride in your new car.
Yeah, I'll take you for a ride in my new car.
All right. So for everyone listening, thank you so very much. I know y'all enjoyed Gina Bengston as much as I did. Probably. I really had a good time. And thank you for being here.
I do shiny balls, like,
Yeah.
Shiny balls.
Love it.
I love you though, Kat. I really, really do. You're just such an amazing, big-hearted, just genuine woman. I've loved you from the second I met you.
Me, you too. Our energy plays well together.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Well, Well, give Bob a hug and tell
I
him I
will.
said hey, and you can give him a little peck right there for me.
Sure.
So, all right. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next week. Same cat time, same cat channel.
Lots of
Heart
love.
out.
Ciao, ciao.